Why would you make this? Hello, everyone. Welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This? Season 3, The Asylum Years. The only podcast dumb enough to watch the worst of the worst, but is still brave enough to ask the question, why would you make this? I am Jimmy Time. I'm joined by my co-host, Brother Skylar. How are you?
I'm doing surprisingly well. Nothing bad on this show for me. All the things I hate is not on this show, so I'm good. I'm at peace.
That's good to know. It's good to know. We're also joined by J. Delta Wagwan.
Wagwan. All the things on this show cause me great pain.
No.
So, that's what's Wagwan.
That's what's Wagwan. All right.
We'd make a great sitcom.
We don't make those anymore, so maybe not. Maybe they were all bad.
I smoked a cigar, and then he picks it up with his umbrella.
That was the scene. Yeah, because he's the penguin.
Yeah.
All right, during Season 3, we are taking you through National Wrestling Alliance, total nonstop action, weekly pay-per-view shows now known as TNA The Asylum Years. This is Episode 10, originally broadcasted August 21st, 2002, live from Nashville, Tennessee in the Fairgrounds Coliseum, now known as the Indiana Farmers Coliseum, allegedly. Drawing
known as the Asylum.
In our hearts, yes. Allegedly drawing 650 people in live attendance. August 15th, one day after the 9th pay-per-view show, the company, financially backing TNA, Health South, cancels their deal with the company.
Oh.
TNA decides to film 2 episodes on one day, airing a clip show on the 3rd week, and opting for no show on the 1-year anniversary of 9/11, intentional or not, essentially giving themselves 1 full month to find new financial backers.
Wait, is this spoiler alert? So the episode's coming up?
This is, that happened after the 9th show.
Oh,
and this is the 10th show, so this is the first of that happening.
Okay,
the next show is also filmed tonight.
And then
a clip
show?
one after that is a clip show, yeah. I won't spoil what that clip show is, but we'll probably skip it. It'll probably be a clip in one of our other shows.
Yeah, we can skip that one.
It's just the Jeff Jarrett clip show of nothing but him beating up officials. No wrestlers, just officials, referees, Bob Armstrong.
Old man, yeah.
Just 100 minutes of Jeff Jarrett. There's that much footage already.
With his theme song on repeat.
Yeah.
My world.
I mean, we've all seen it in our heads. Yeah. Why watch it now? Quick correction. I never said this last time. I want to just point this out because it's been said. Don Harris has likely changed his life around since this show, as he now has a half-black granddaughter and an adopted Filipino child.
Reformed Nazi.
So, allegedly reformed.
Or
he's a reformed alleged Nazi.
Yeah.
He's not alleged. Oh. Well, I guess he's allegedly reformed alleged Nazi.
Now that's a sitcom.
That's a sitcom.
That's I want to see that.
Dad, the former Nazi.
Or is it?
And the kids are just like, Dad, are you doing that? Oh, wait a minute.
Wait. So are you saying that he's still a Nazi, or you're never sure if he was?
Tune in next week.
No. I won't tune in any week. All right, so as per usual, episode 9 left us confused about the motives of the characters and the direction of the company.
Yeah.
So let's try to figure that all out with our crazy past.
Wait a minute. What happened that got you so crazy?
All right, first, and probably for the last time, in the unranked division, the original midget killer Puppet the Psycho Dwarf wants the show to start with midget wrestling, but has since settled for making midgets bleed because they're stealing his screen time. However, sometimes he's too tired to care about it. Although one time he cared about it too much and pulled a gun out in front of a live crowd. Since then, he may have had a change of heart, as after sneaking into a match inside of an outhouse, Puppet helped fellow midget wrestler Tio win his match. So that's like a full story arc there.
Now it's us versus them.
I guess. But also, I believe I said last time, and if I didn't, I'll say now, we have seen Puppet's last match. So,
so we may see him in a segment. We're not going to see him in the ring.
We might see him in a segment, but there's never going to be like, now we're a team to get, unless it's like Unless it's like the Dup scenario where I thought the Dup never wrestled again and it was just Bo wrestling, but for some reason Stan is also in that match despite him not being in the match. Yay, TNA! Next, Miss TNA, Bruce, has issued a standing open challenge for $5,000 to any woman who can beat him for the crown of Miss TNA.
Do we call him him? Should we not get into that?
It's not really been established. I don't know if Bruce made it clear what his pronouns or her pronouns are.
Just Bruce.
What their pronouns are.
Just Bruce.
Next, after moving on from his attempt with Francine, Ed Ferraro's quest to see or perform a sexual act on television continues after losing a hardcore match, with the prize being a night with Fluffed Up.
It's not going to happen.
Well, yes, for many reasons that we'll see later on, I'm sure. Next, on the third pay-per-view show, Buff Bagwell has gone home to rethink his career, and he has yet to return. And I wanted to ask you guys, should I keep having the storyline on the list? Because I know he comes back.
He's had a long career. He has to think about it.
Or should I take it off and then do like one of those CW shows where you watch in season 8 and it's like previously on Creekstaff and you're like, that lady from season 1?
See? We did mention it, yeah? We'll just put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Later.
So that take it off and do the CW previously on? All right.
We said it, though.
All right, so then that's also gone. Next, the Disco Inferno has promised to teach the NWA TNA with his new show, Jive Talkin', although for a second week in a row, I'm not really sure what he taught us with his last show.
I know what Shark Boy looks like.
That's what he taught us.
Right, yeah.
That's the only thing he's taught us.
And he's also related to the Baldwins.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
That's why he has to wear the mask.
Which was he? Jeff Baldwin?
Billy? Wait, no.
No.
Which one?
Dean
Dean Baldwin?
Baldwin.
The man of 1,000 lines.
Man of 1,000 lies. All right, next in the hardcore division, after possibly alienating themselves from the company, low-class redneck stereotypes, the Dups have been given the authority to turn their family heirloom into the championship title for the new hardcore division that they've also been given the authority to start. They have since lost the heirloom/championship to midget wrestler T.O., which caused Stan to claim he'll never return to the NWA until they're all gone, with Bo following.
He's terrified.
This storyline is over now. The Dups are over. It's gone.
Is the Dup Cup gone?
Well, the thing about that is, next, after winning the Hardcore Championship/Dup Cup, T.O. has had his last official match in TNA, which means the entire Hardcore division is now closed.
Ooh, retired the title.
So that whole division is now over.
So all of the Disco Inferno, both those matches, totally pointless.
What do you? What's the disco? Oh, because the promo here.
Yeah, they introduced it.
Yeah, essentially it's all over now.
Great.
Next in the tag division, the Hotshots beat Cowboy James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris to a bloody pulp on the third pay-per-view show, but we don't know why, nor why the Hotshots pistol whipped the not yet AMWs after their revenge match. Because they had a match for revenge.
Yes.
AMW won, and then afterwards they beat him down with the pistols and left.
It's a long story.
A very long story. Next in the X division, Glory Hog, Disrespectful Pervert, or Simple Disagreement. After 9 weeks, it is both clear and not clear what is going on between AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn. It's about respect, but also I don't know what respect he's talking about.
Definitely not for women.
Well, yeah.
How's a man gonna earn his place in wrestling unless you're living in the back of your car, eating nothing but peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, abandon your wife and kids, forget them, they're gone, because you're out there living the dream like a real wrestler. You didn't pay your dues, AJ.
The weirdest part about that to me is I've never heard people say you're eating peanut butter sandwiches. I've always heard you're eating rice and tuna fish. That's always been my, you're so poor, that's all you can eat. Like, I don't know why he's eating peanut butter sandwiches. But
okay, Jerry Lynn, peanut butter, I have that willingly. That's just a normal meal.
Yeah.
You're not really struggling. I think you're.
No, he's struggling, in the bowels, because peanut butter is thick. I don't know how he gets through it.
Yeah, his bowel movements just look like a sludge.
I feel like it, too. God damn. All right, come on. Next, the Flying Elvises are the X Division, but that may only apply to Sonny Siaki, who doesn't even like Elvis. And Jimmy Yang has seemed to have had enough of it. And then finally, in the X Division, Low-Key is your new X Division champion, even though he won it and retained it by questionable means.
By hard kicks.
They keep bringing up that he wins it by questionable means.
Like, with kicks?
No, because, like, what was the first one? The pin wasn't a complete pin. He broke the pin.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then the last match he had, it wasn't him versus a challenger. It was him versus a bunch of guys that seemed to hate each other. Like, they weren't as much of a team as they really seemed like they were. So it's like, that was an easy win for him, I guess.
I don't know.
And then I wanted to point out that according to Jerry Jarrett's published journals, last week, Russo's original plan was to have Jarrett interrupt the X title match, essentially burying the entire division, ruining everything that they've built up so far.
Why?
That was why
the plan.
That was why Jarrett bumped into Low-Key last week. Remember that
segment?
He was going to come out and fuck up the match and be like, if I don't get a title match, they don't get a title match. But they were like, no, that's going to ruin the whole thing. We've been working for them, and let's not do it.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Ugh. I had people leave. Like, they would have left the company.
Yeah. All right, finally, World Division here. With his hatred of NASCAR subdued, Ron the Truth Killings is your new NWA Heavyweight Champion. It is still unknown if he will continue to use his belt to hang people who disagree with his preachings of conspiracy, or if he will continue to rap.
But not his championship belt, just his normal belt.
Yes, his regular clothes belt. Not the champion.
Man of two belts.
Next, after dramatically changing his gimmick and name in order to distance himself from his father, Jerry Lawler, Brian Lawler is heavily focused on getting revenge on Jeff Jarrett for whatever it is Jarrett did to him.
I'm sure we'll find out this week.
Yeah, right. Next, Monty Brown came to TNA for the NWA Heavyweight Championship and is now focused on champion Ron the Truth Killings and Elix Skipper over their alleged false claims of racial discrimination. That is what that's about.
Yeah.
Next, James Mitchell wants control, but week after week, he seems to be losing more and more of it. That's just how you...
That's it?
That's how you really squish that storyline down. Next, over the length of 7 weeks, Scott Hall was put on a stretcher 3 times by Jeff Jarrett, and we have not seen him since.
Is he going to come back?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But I don't know if it will be related to that. And finally, Jeff Jarrett will not be screwed over again like he already has been by Jackie Fargo, Scott Hall, Brian Lawler, NWA President Jim Miller, Toby Keith twice, NWA Authority figure Ricky the Dragon Steamboat twice, NWA Vice President Bill Behrens 3 times,
Thrice,
James Mitchell and the New Church, and the Tennessee Titans. Also, he's attempted to kill Jackie Fargo, Jim Miller, Todd Stone, Bill Behrens twice, Scott Hall twice, and the entire NWA TNA security team several times. Whew! So that's why we are crazy, because all that happened to us, live and in color. No dark matches this week because we are trying to save money desperately.
All right.
So let's start the show. All right, segment 1, Tanay welcomes us to the show as cameras scan crowd signs, and Tanay reminds us that this is the TNA Asylum. There's a shot of one of the fan signs that says he's the head of the Polina fan club. She was out of the company last week. She's already gone.
Oh, wow.
You're not going to see her again. And then, you see it all the time, the sexual harassment, but I guess as a man, when you see the reverse of a woman's sexual harassment, it's always like, oh, all right, come on now, lady. Where we see a sign that says, Sonny, show me your siaki.
I didn't understand that. Am I missing something?
That's his penis.
His siaki?
Yeah.
That's not even a play on words, though.
Isn't it, though?
Siaki?
Anyway, AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn in a False Count Anywhere match. Jerry Lynn is wearing purple tights this week, so suddenly I see what all the hype is about. Maybe so. Jerry Lynn should be respected.
I was going to bring that up.
The match starts with Jerry Lynn reversing AJ's baseball slide dropkick into a stun gun on the guardrail. Then Jerry throws AJ into everything at ringside and tries to go into the crowd, but AJ turns it around. TNA claims that Jerry Lynn started this feud, and tonight it ends. Like, what are you? You're not part of this feud, Jerry. TNA, how do you know? Jerry Lynn turns it back around and hits a face buster onto a chair and finally brings it into the crowd for a 2 count. Up on the bleachers, the crowd will not move out of the way.
I love, at one point, there's a woman who's just holding her head. Nope, not this way.
I loved it because we got one of those old school, like, 80s, 90s where the guy is, like, stiff as a board and smiling, but, like, he's so desperate to be on camera, he just keeps inching in, like, not paying attention to anything that's going around him, where he's stepping, just, I'm on the TV. So AJ tosses Lynn off the bleachers and jumps after him for a 2 count. And that's when you're reminded, oh, right, I forgot with the chair thing. This really is because you really barely see the first pin.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the first pin.
That's what I mean. You really barely see the first
I
pin.
missed that.
The one deep in the crowd is the one where you're like, oh, okay, now I'm... Anyway, back at ringside, AJ goes to springboard off the guardrail, but Lynn pushes his legs and AJ lands chest first on the guardrail. In the ring, the crowd is behind Jerry Lynn as he calls for a pile driver, but AJ turns around into a facebuster, another 2 count. AJ hits a Hurricane Rana that Lynn turns, and they both go over the top rope. Another 2 count on the outside. On the ramp, Lynn jumps off with AJ, face first, into the base of the dancer's cage.
That was the stupidest spot. I can honestly say I've never seen it before, where a guy just jumps off the fucking the stage with a guy, but that was horrible.
So back on the ramp, especially because then they go back up on the ramp. He drags him back up. I was like, all right. Back up on the ramp, AJ goes for a Styles Clash, but Jerry Lynn reverses it and hits a Cradle Pile Driver, and that's the win. Match length, 9 minutes and 57 seconds. Full segment length, 11 minutes and 25 seconds. Thoughts?
When they were just like, okay, we'll have the second fall later tonight, I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's how we're doing a best 2 out of 3 match?
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to break them up? All right. Okay, TNA, I guess.
Yeah, TNA said it real quick in the beginning of the match, but the first time I watched it, I missed him saying it. So I was like, wait, what do you mean it's over? Like, I thought there was, 2 out of 3, what? I was very confused about that.
Yeah, my only thoughts was, it was a good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. It was solid. I had no problems with it. There was one spot when they went to the crowd, and the crowd wouldn't move out of the way, and he had to get that one chair, and he was holding AJ Styles on the barricade, and it looked like he was going to throw him down, and he went down, and he took AJ down, and then he just threw his head down into the chair, and I was like, that was a long walk for such a short drink.
Like very awkward, yes. And it started off awkward, too, because he tried to get the chair and set it up, and the fans were like, here's the chair. He's like, no, I want it down there. They're like, yeah, here it is in your hands. He's like, no, I want it on the floor.
So eager.
All right, then. Segment 2, Goldilocks is with smoking Chris Harris and cowpoke James Storm. She asks them about their match against Ron Harris, not Don Harris, Ron Harris, and Brian Lee tonight.
Alleged Nazi brother.
But also alleged Nazi. Because he's got the same tattoo.
Oh, my God.
Chris Harris stops the interview to complain about James Storm's cowboy gimmick, but it's not a gimmick. Ron Harris and Brian Lee enter to make fun of Storm and tell Chris Harris that he needs a serious tag partner, but neither of them listen. Full segment, 2 minutes. Thoughts?
I just love that Harris is like, we're not getting booked because of your fucking gimmick.
This is real now.
He's literally like, you're the reason why we haven't been here.
He seems like a jerk. He's like blowing smoke into like Goldie's face.
I'm sure it's probably been done before this. Well, because the curtain call was before this, but this is like one of your early on, like, just break the fourth wall of wrestling gimmicks.
Yep.
I cannot believe week after week I'm going, yo, how is Chris Harris is clearly the talent of this tag team. He is doing stuff that we are not ready for. Yeah, I don't have anything. Can we move on? Or?
Yeah. Aside from the fact that James Storm apparently has a problem with non-cowboys using the term buckaroo.
Oh, right.
You can't say that.
That's his gimmick.
That's our word.
Whoa.
Cowboys. All right, segment 3. Ron Harris and Brian Lee versus Wildcat Chris Harris and Cowboy James Storm. Just going to point it out right now. This is 8-Ball and Chains of the Disciples of Apocalypse.
That's where I know him. That's Brian Lee?
You also know Brian Lee as the Underfaker. The original fake Undertaker, the $1 Million Man's Undertaker.
Was his name Primetime?
Primetime Brian Lee. I think it was that for a little bit in like WCW or something.
How was that allowed? They called him Primetime Brian Lee when he came out.
Well, did they? Or did
yes, they did.
They? Oh, yeah?
They announced it.
Is he Primetime Elix Skipper too? Or is he just Elix Skipper?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm glad nobody's paying attention, including me. Today says that Storm and Harris got their revenge on the Hot Shots because they won their match against them, but they make no mention of the pistol whipping that the Hot Shots gave them after the match. They just...
Nope, they won the match. That's what's in the books.
So Storm and Lee start with a back and forth until the heels take the breather.
There's too much powdering and walking around outside.
Yeah. Commentary reminds us that James Storm's cowboy gimmick isn't a gimmick. He really thinks he's a cowboy.
Thinks he's a cowboy, not is a cowboy.
I haven't seen any paperwork. We get a partner tag, both sides. Harris versus Harris now, until once again, the heels take another frustrated breather. I don't know about you, but this is the time that I realize, no Ed Ferrara.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I didn't realize it until way later in the show.
Even after they go to the commentary team and I
was just totally, later on, it might be Monty Brown versus Truth. Okay. Where they start fighting, and I was like, wait a minute.
Shouldn't there be some jerk making a bunch of comments right now trying to egg on a bunch of weird racism or something?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
Wow. Yeah. Shows you how much we really didn't need him on this show. As fun as he was sometimes, we really did not need him.
He added nothing.
Yes, sadly. Ron gets shit canned, and then Chris Harris tosses Storm over the top into Brian and Ron. Back in the ring, Chris Harris takes out Ron with a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, but gets taken out by Lee with a tombstone piledriver. That's it, brother. Wildcat Chris Harris hits a Luthez press on, but is immediately low-blowed by Brian Lee.
Directly in front of the ref.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty sure that happens twice tonight.
Yeah.
I want to say twice in this match. Yeah,
once in this match and twice later.
Oh my god, okay. So after a cocky pin, Chris Harris turns it around with another bulldog for the double down. After the House of Fire, Brian Lee gets double clothesline to the outside, and a very clearly planted fan gets too aggressive with Brian Lee.
What?
And then Brian Lee attacks the fan.
What do you mean clearly planted?
Pulling him over the guardrail.
Yeah.
Fans can be buff and wear tight shirts.
No.
And just start handling the wrestlers like that?
Jeez, man. In the ring, Ron Harris is arguing at Lee, and when Wildcat Chris Harris jumps from the top rope, gives Ron a guillotine, and then Storm rolls him up for the 3 and the win. Post-match, Ron and Brian attack Chris and James with a weird-ass double choke slam back suplex.
Yeah.
It was
the Harris Brothers moves.
Is that really their move? Or?
Yeah, they've been doing it since they were the weird caveman guys.
Oh my god.
The Ezekiel twins or whatever they were.
It is, it is the laziest and safest double choke slam I've ever seen. It is, I don't know what it's called, but I have it written down here. If I had to give it a name, I would call it the Gentle Goodnight.
That's wonderful.
So match length 9 minutes, post-match segment 27 seconds, and full segment length 12 minutes. Your thoughts?
That was 9 minutes.
That was a 9-minute match.
9 minutes. When Ron Harris came out, my first thought was, "Oh, good, the head of security finally got new attire." Until he said, "This is his twin brother." Oh,
there's more of them.
Yo, these Nazis are multiplying.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry, alleged Nazis.
They're allegedly multiplying.
Also, I'm pretty sure at one point Brian Lee did Goldust taunt over one of them.
Oh, the crotch up.
Yeah.
I thought that was very out of nowhere and weird.
Oh yeah, he didn't do it as effeminate as him, but he did do the
he did it and then
drop. Yeah,
it was obvious what he was doing. But other than that, it was an all right match. It was good.
All right.
It was all right.
I thought it was awful.
Bad. Dude, I thought this was
awful.
I thought the most
right.
exciting thing done by the heels, or possibly in the entire match by anyone, was when Brian Lee did a one-handed pin. That was like the most exciting thing, the most emotional thing that happened in the match.
The audience liked it.
Yeah, but you have to understand, the audience are constantly looking at JB to going, is this when the prizes are given out? If we cheer loud, we get prizes, right? This is the time?
That is true.
Yeah, I hated this match. Like, right from the get-go, first of all, these guys are huge, and they're moving around the ring so fast, like a million miles an hour. Slow it down, right? You motherfuckers are huge. Make your moves mean something.
Yeah, how tall is Chris Harris? He's doing that tilt-a-world head scissors.
Yeah. And then, like, they hit a tombstone pile driver as a cutoff.
Yeah.
Like, opening shot, cut him off with a tombstone pile driver. I was like, really? That's what we're doing? And then, we have our presumably face tag team, although, ain't no good guys or bad guys at the carnival. Like, our face tag team went up dirty over these guys and then get beat? What? Yeah. And future AMW, they get beat the same way they win a tag match and just get beat by their opponents like they did last time? Is that their gimmick?
I guess, yeah.
I didn't know what that was. I felt like it was a weird situation where they booked it, but they had to keep AMW undefeated, but the other guys didn't want to look like little bitches.
Well, we're not going to make our head of security's brother, like, we can't squash him or make him look like crap. So, like, if you told me Ron Harris and Brian Lee never came back to TNA, I'd be like, oh, of course, this was their one thing. And, like, why put them up on the AMW at all?
Yeah. I can't really tell you that. I'm not sure why. I mean, I'm sure they were together because they're friends, but I don't know why out of all the wrestling potentials that they have, they decided to do this as a match as a means to push their tag division and also the AMW. Because clearly that's what it's about. It's about making the AMW look good. But I don't know how that does this. Yeah.
Yeah. So far we see AMW win a match and then just get immediately beat down.
Yes, we have seen them beat down more than win matches. All right, segment 4. This is the welcome part of the show.
All right,
Tenay and Don West. No Ed Ferrara. Confirming it there.
Didn't notice.
They put over the Truth versus Monty Brown for the NWA Heavyweight title. Lynn versus Styles in a best of 3 series for the number 1 X title. Contender for the X title. And we still have a surprise for Jarrett later to come. Just a minute and 9 was the full segment. Thoughts? None.
None.
Other than we failed to notice that Ed Ferrara. Yeah, we failed to notice that Ed Ferrara wasn't even here. It's just a whole man was missing and we didn't seem to care. Yikes.
He saw the bill and he was like, "There's no women's booked. I'm gone. Nope. There's no one I can touch. No one I can look at."
All right, segment 5, Sonny Siaki versus Jimmy Yang. The match is announced for 1 fall, but that changes very quickly.
Oh, I didn't catch that they announced it.
They announced 1 fall, and I was like, that's not what you said last week. What are you guys going to do? Oh, my God. Is this going to be like the first 2 out of 3 falls that we match?
The first fall is for 1 fall.
That's true. That's true. So Siaki tries to attack Yang as he poses on the top of the ramp with his entrance, but Yang quickly ducks and takes Sonny out and then goes back to posing. The Elvises are here. Tenay says this is Sonny Siaki's opportunity to prove that he's the best of the Elvises, but that's not his gimmick. He's not the best of the Elvises. He's the best Sonny Siaki.
He doesn't like the gimmick.
It's literally his whole gimmick is that he's not an Elvis. So Yang just throws Siaki around ringside into guardrails. Estrada just keeps jumping in and laughing. Ha 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 ha. In the ring, Yang is still in control. It hits a very beautiful springboard dropkick. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Everything he does is great.
Yang is just the most casually phenomenal. Like, dude, first of all, I think he's fucking baked. The entire match, all the time, dude just looks out of it.
Just high all the time?
Yeah, just high all the time.
Okay.
He's just thinking.
Everything he does, it looks great, but it also looks just sloppy enough that I'm like, he's really not in it 100%. But it doesn't have to be. He's so good, he doesn't have to be. But,
All All right. Siaki turns it around, but Yang quickly hits a neck breaker, followed by Yang time to get the first fall. JB announces that Yang won the first fall, but everyone seems confused when he said that, including commentary.
Ref waves off the... No, he kicked out.
But it's still... It's a fall.
Yep.
That's the fall. And now we're going in to the second fall, which is also confusing because it was one fall. It deflated the whole match. The whole match. Everyone was like, yeah. Huh? Wait, what? Huh? Oh. No. Huh. Okay. Siaki pushes Yang out of the ring and tosses him around ringside before bringing him back into the ring. Siaki hits some big moves on Yang. Suplex, pump handle, clothesline. Don mentions that this match is a reverse of the first match as Siaki hits his finisher and gets the pin, so it's 1-1.
It was very obvious that's what was going on.
100%. Yeah, it was you do your thing, and then I'll do that same thing, and we'll call it unique. In the third fall, Estrada makes a brief appearance by pointing out that Yang's foot is on the rope to stop a pin.
He's there.
He is there, yes. Yang locks in a submission, well, a couple of submissions that ultimately don't work. He keeps breaking out of them. Siaki hits a superplex, but Yang power sells into hitting a Shining Wizard for a very brief double down. A series of reversals, followed by reversals, is ended by another brief double down. Yang gets a 2, and Estrada complains about it on the apron, and Siaki reverses a roll through and holds the ropes for 3. That's 2-1 Siaki. Your winner, Sonny Siaki. Match length, 14 minutes and 7 seconds from when they made contact. But if you count from when the ref called for the bell and they refused to ring the bell for him, then it's a 12-minute and 47-second match. But the full segment was 16 minutes, 16 seconds.
Yeah, it went on for a while.
It was, surprisingly. They gave him a lot of time. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think, again, Yang is just casually incredible. The dude is, like, ultra athletic and does shit no problem. But again, he comes across as, like, a guy who smoked a little too much weed before his match and is, like, he's sloppy because of it.
All right.
But, like, he's phenomenal. I don't think I see anybody else do it. He has this one spot. He's coming off the ropes, and Siaki's there with, like, a line or whatever. And Yang does the, like, grab for the dipsy-do under the clothesline, but just, like, spins in place.
Oh, I thought that was, like, Sonny Siaki went for the hip toss, and he kind of just, like,
I guess,
out of it somehow. I don't know. It was weird.
You don't understand how.
It was amazing.
You rewind it, and you're like, all right, I'll rewind it and watch it again, and this time I'll understand. No, and Yang just defies the laws of physics and spins in place.
Kind of to the side.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Earth's axis.
Just gyroscope real quick.
It's really weird.
Cool.
Yeah, there was one part in the beginning where after he did his whole attack him and did the taunt, and he went and danced with the girls in the cage.
Yeah.
And then he just nonchalantly walked across the entire guardrail back to like
just like
I was like, what the hell?
Again, it's like he doesn't have to try. He's just like I could just walk around the arena on this guardrail, but whatever. I'm Jimmy Yang.
Yeah, he should probably be a little more famous than he is.
Yeah. Dude's showing up, he's stoned, whatever, happy, gets his paycheck, and done.
Worked for RVD.
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't he get a shot? Like, I don't understand that. I don't understand why he's there with Jimmy Wang Yang. He finally gets, like, a gimmick he can do. And then they give him, shots of the Cruiserweight title, and then that's it. And then all day long, they give The Miz shots after shots. They give him WrestleMania shots, and I don't care what anyone says, he fails and fails and fails. And they still give him shots. But they don't give Jimmy Wang Yang shit. And he's so good. It's baloney. Because he's not white.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe the truth is right. All right, segment 6. Jarrett enters the second the match is over, screaming, "Cut the damn music!" for way too long. He tells Tenay that he won't get screwed again when Brian Lawler attacks him from behind. They brawl until security breaks it up and Jarrett is pushed to the back. The crowd chants, Jerry's kid, Jerry's kid.
Oh, God.
As Goldilocks enters the ring and tries to get Brian Lawler to tell us what Jeff Jarrett did to him.
Did you see how Goldilocks tried to get into the ring, though?
No.
I don't understand how she got
Did she get in like feet first or
feet and knees first, and then she was like twisting and coming in. I don't know how she did it.
she got in the ring the way Yang and Siaki spun out of that movie?
Yes.
So after heavily breathing directly into Goldie's face,
Hair was flying everywhere.
he was breathing her bangs into the first row. Brian tells Goldie to get out of the ring, and then he asks the fans, "You want to know what Jarrett did to me? I'll tell you."
This is my favorite part of the whole show.
And then suddenly Slash comes out from under the ring and attacks from behind.
But before, Tanae was so into it.
Yes!
Tell us! Tell us! This is so great. I was dying.
Tell us!
Oh my God.
So yeah, Slash comes out from under the ring and attacks Brian Lawler from behind, and then a ref comes out, and it's a match now.
Yep.
Now it's
How
a match.
is that fair at all?
I know.
Well, this was a match that booked and both guys are out here. That's it. Here we go.
Yeah. I love very casually Tanae mentioned, he was like, he must have been hiding under the ring through the whole night.
And then the ref just like was grazing in the back and just like heard the commotion and just ran out there like immediately.
Cloud behind him where he was
Yeah,
standing.
he was there immediately. Yeah, start the match.
All right, so Slash brings Brian outside and tosses him around. Why does every match start this way? But Brian reverses a pile driver and brings it inside, but then clothesline Slash back outside. Don West mentions that this is a heel versus heel match, so you don't really know who to cheer for.
Thank you.
I make the mistake of presuming that because he's going after Jarrett and he got bum rushed by Slash, that Lawler must be the face in this match.
Seems like it.
And then right after I think that, he gets in the ring and hard flips off the crowd.
Yep.
Hard.
And he starts yelling at Goldilocks. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's a heel.
Yeah.
So that was a heel versus heel feud followed by a heel versus heel match with the
Yep.
same guy.
Bulldog on the ramp by Lawler. Lawler goes to get a chair from the same skinny black woman fan from last week.
The feud continues.
But she does not let him have it and even stops other fans from giving their chairs
Did
to
you see
him.
how many people immediately take mine?
Many.
Everyone.
And she was like, no,
Nobody.
solidarity, people.
This is my chair. You can't have it. And then he spit his gum in her face.
Did he?
You didn't see that?
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
He spit his gum. That's why she threw the chair. She was trying to hit him. He spit gum at her.
Oh, okay. I thought she was crazy, but it was warranted.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, all right. So back in the ring, Slash hits the slash and burn, the crucifix airplane spin.
Yeah.
That
hate
still makes me giggle.
His selling is so bad. He's like a child.
Lawler? Fucking trash.
The worst selling I've ever seen.
Right from the get-go, fucking Slash gives Lawler a whip from the
Yep,
outside
I
into the
remember.
guardrail, and he does the big fucking stinger splash into the guardrail for no reason.
Flies.
And I was just like, ugh, that's enough. Just fucking break your ribs there
He's
and
making-
call a match.
He's making all these faces. At one point, I think it was during that spot with Slash where he did the Whirly Bird special,
Right.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. And he made the face immediately, and Don West started laughing. He had to stop himself from laughing because of his face.
Great. So, back in the ring, he hits the slash and burn, but Brian turns it back around and then loses focus and starts dancing. Stops Slash's rebound attack and then starts dancing again.
Hot dogging and hot dogging.
Slash calls for the finish, but Brian low blows him, but it doesn't hurt that bad, and Slash gives him one back. Ref sees both. Doesn't care.
Well, it's fair.
I don't like either of these guys.
It's even now.
Each guy gets a onesie.
Oh, okay. Slash gets knocked off the top rope, and Brian hits the Tennessee Jam, not the hip hop drop, the Tennessee Jam, and gets the 3. Promo length, I guess the whole segment, Jarrett's and his, 2 minutes and 16 minutes. Match length, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Full segment, 9 minutes. Brother Scala's about to explode. Go ahead.
Why did he change the name of his finisher? Why?
Because he's not the hip hop guy anymore.
No, not the guy with the pants that say hip hop right on the crotch.
No.
Not the guy who comes out to hip hop music. Not the guy who's dancing to hip hop.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
He's just being a good old boy, representing his home state, the good old Tennessee. Woo! Oh wait, he's a heel, so he wouldn't even be doing that. I don't know. Dude, his fucking selling is criminally bad.
So bad. The worst selling.
Yeah,
I've ever
I know.
seen.
I know. My only thoughts for this segment is that week after week, we jokingly suggest the worst possible justification or logic for what's going on in the storyline, and then TNA sincerely follows through on it. And I always expect the least. But because they had to redo that, like, we're going to give no, my chair, not your chair again, this has got to be something. They're building to something. So what can they be building to? Oh, obviously the worst thing that's possible. That's Brian Lawler's girlfriend.
No.
And they're having a domestic dispute, y'all.
No. He's trying to distance himself from his father.
What would that woman have to do?
He's always domestically disputing with women, Lawler.
All right.
Allegedly.
All right.
Allegedly.
Just say allegedly before you say anything. I just don't want to get sued.
Allegedly sued.
Yeah, see? He gets it. All right, segment 7. In the back, Jeff Jarrett and Bullet Bob Armstrong argue. Jarrett says he'll take everyone down. Segment length, 18 seconds. My only thoughts is, much like every Jarrett promo, there was way too much yelling to really know what was being said by anyone. You guys have any thoughts?
He's already taken everyone down. That's been his gimmick. Does he really think he's gonna get different? He's like, well, I'll just hit him with a chair, and then they'll give me my title shot. And then if they don't, I'll hit him with a chair, and they'll give me and then I'll hit them with a chair, and they'll give me my title shot.
And he wanted more. He wanted to take out the X Division. They stopped him.
Yo.
Well, that wasn't him. That was Russo. But yeah. That was the plan, yeah. All right, segment 8, the X Division Spanish announced team. Well, the X Division match, Spanish announced team versus Low Key.
They announced it correctly this time. They said the SATs and Amazing Red, which is weird that it's a 4-way match, but 3 of them came out together.
Yeah,
Same.
It's so same.
It's so insane.
It's insane how same we are. So the match starts with all 3 SATs attacking Low Key, but he kicks them all away. You know it.
That sequence was wonderful.
I love the opening sequence, but only at the end of the match I was like, why are they starting like that if it's a tag match?
I was thrown off by that. I was like, this is a great match. And then after that sequence is over, they just slowly went to the corner and like, hey, what's happening?
And again, I love the opening sequence. I thought it was great, but it's like,
that was weird.
As the match starts, we get the thing I was talking about, where Tenay once again puts down Low Key's title reign by pointing out that all of his title defenses thus far have been against teams that are having internal problems.
Well, I think one of them said, someone in management must have something against him, because he's always in, ladder matches, and
which, ironically, kayfabe spoiler, is him, because he's head of talent relations. So, whoops. He hates himself.
The Warrior hates him. The Warrior within.
All right, so Low Key reverses Red's Hurricane Rana into the Key Crusher, but Red gets out of it and then tags out to Jose. Jose goes for a tornado DDT, but Low Key reverses it into the opposite corner, and then Jose hits the tornado DDT, followed by a double team Bulldog with Joel. Low Key turns it around, and Jose comes back in for a double team, but Low Key hits a rolling heel kick into the corner on both of them.
Loved it.
Yeah. Red tags himself in, hits a Red Star press on Joel, and gets a 2, and then Low Key tags himself back in. So we're getting that no, it's the spirit of competition. No, we don't care about keep those guys in, let them lose for a while.
It's an ROH match.
Yeah. Honor. A sort of triple team move here, where Joel has a fireman carries hold on Low Key, and Jose sort of double stomps Low Key, and then Red goes to do the same double stomp, but then afterwards also hits a Hurricane Rana on Jose.
Why was he standing there?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Or in the same regard, if the team had a team move to do, why did Red turn on them at the end?
Man for himself.
They start fighting amongst each other immediately.
Yes.
As soon as Loki is out of the ring, they fight each other.
But I do like that Red was the one that started the fight.
Yeah.
Jose, the brothers started fighting at the end,
Later,
but at the beginning, it was
Yes.
Red first, and I was like, all right, there's at least a minuscule amount of team solidarity in this.
Why not take out the champion and be like, one of us will be champion now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I say it every year, which is that if I'm in the Royal Rumble and my tag partner throws me out of the Royal Rumble, the tag team's over.
That's it. We're done. Unless we're the final two, then it's okay.
Yes, because that's the plan.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
That's the fucking plan.
Joel and Red lock hands, test of strength style, and Red jumps up onto Joel's shoulder, and then Red from the outside springboards in and kicks Red in the face, chest area.
The shins or somewhere.
He kicks Red in the red.
Yeah.
This was they do this weird double team that they failed to do last match. They tried to do it and just didn't. Like, the guy didn't know what he was doing. Everyone just collapsed. It looked bad. It's a catapult neck breaker.
Yes.
Called the Maximo Impact.
That's why I thought that was the first time I saw that. Because they didn't do it right the first time.
Yeah, but they tried to do it in one of the other matches, and the guy was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, and he just collapsed.
A lot better this time.
Yes,
It looked great.
Absolutely. Red takes out both Maximo brothers with a Hurricane Rana to the outside, and then TNA reminds us, hey, this is an elimination match, don't forget.
Yeah.
Loki sets up the Key Crusher, but throws Red over the top rope at the SAT.
Right.
It's insane. And then jumps after them with, like, I don't know, I wasn't sure what, Phoenix 450? Just a regular Phoenix? It was something jumpy. It was twisty and turny.
I missed it.
It was a Phoenix something.
I don't remember.
Hits all three of them. Jose, back in the ring, Jose hits a pull-through powerbomb facebuster on Red. But Joel breaks it up and hits the Maximo Overdrive, a double underhook facebuster bomb. And that's the three. Jose is gone. I was like, you guys are supposed to be a team.
Yeah, I know.
You broke up a pin from your tag partner
to eliminate him.
To eliminate
that. We're done as a tag team.
Yeah.
It happened, and then Don West just like sat there and analyzed it. And then he put him up, and then he went, I don't understand that. And he completely called him out on it. I was like, that was kind of dumb. I was like, even the guy who doesn't get wrestling gets that.
Yeah. Thank God. So low-key, this was intense. Low-key repeatedly kicks Joel on the head. That was intense. Those were intense kicks. And then Red hits a springboard flatliner, like the downward spiral, whatever you call it that. Yeah.
The self-rock bottom, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever you call it that. And then he hits the infrared for the three. Joel is gone. Again, it's your tag partner. What are you doing? Loki goes for a second rope Key Crusher, but Red breaks out, and then Red goes for a top rope Hurricane Rana. I think it's actually a second rope Hurricane Rana. But Loki reverses it into a second rope Key Crusher, gets the three, still X Division champion, Loki. Match length, 11 minutes and 55 seconds. Segment length, 14 minutes and 3 seconds. Any other thoughts?
Match of the night.
Match of the night.
Match of the night.
Oh, yeah. It just, like, so many of the spots were great, but why am I sitting here thinking about, like, why is the tag team fighting amongst themselves? Why are these guys fighting amongst themselves at all? Why aren't they all going after Loki? We start the match with Loki kicking the shit out of all three of them, and then they don't hesitate to turn on each other.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, like, the four of you guys should have been able to figure out that's not how this should work. Yeah. Fucking glom on Loki, beat the shit out of him, and then...
Yeah. That's why. I mean, maybe wrestling-wise, okay, but when you say match of the night, I'm like, really? With all that terrible story in there? The tag team fighting amongst themselves for no reason? Like
comparing it to the rest of the card, yes. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay. I mean...
all right.
There ain't much to stack it against, so...
All right. Yeah, there was also that other sequence that happened, like right at the end, once Red eliminated one of the Joels.
Yeah. Okay. Move on. Go for it. Yep. Not Maximo's.
Yeah, one of those Maximo guys. Red just started swinging at him, and Karate Master Loki just started swatting away all the punches and pushed him away. And I was like, what am I watching all of a sudden? And then he did the greatest reversal to a Code Red I've ever seen, where he just ran into the turnbuckle as he was mid doing it.
Oof, it was so good.
Yeah, that's like low key is good, but like you need those spots for him to look really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like the other guys, like I agree, there was like no story or anything happening. Like that one spot where the Maximo threw Red up onto his shoulders, they both locked hands, and the Maximo kicked him in the leg to trip him. And they both stood there and stared at each other for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then Red just did like a back roll to do their sequence where he can jump up there. And I'm like, the little things in between matter. You like, it just looks like Cirque du Soleil at that point.
Mm-hmm. I think what drives me the most crazy about this is, it doesn't mean anything. The Maximos aren't going to be mad at each other next week. Or like, it's not, I'm sure we'll see Red and the SATs just like, here we are, back tagging again like it's nothing.
Exactly. No. All right, segment 9. Goldilocks is with Ron the Truth Killings. She says him and Monty Brown have differences and fight tonight, and will fight tonight. The Truth says he freed the black sports entertainer the same way Lincoln freed the slaves. Monty Brown should thank him. Segment length 1 minute and 3 seconds. Any thoughts on this? No?
I liked it. It was all right.
No, that's fine. Post-segment in the crowd, Tanae points out fitness model April Hunter.
Hey, it's April.
She says that she's accepted the challenge for the crown of Miss TNA, which will happen next week.
I know her. Good friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah. We've talked once.
Have you? No, you didn't.
No.
No, but you can imagine what it would be like if we did. All right, segment 10, The Truth versus Monty Brown in the NWA heavyweight title match.
Now, has it always been Monte Brown with an E? Because I thought it was Monty Brown with a Y.
That's what
Wait, what? There was an E? I didn't notice this.
Yes, in like the little graphic before when they were like doing a tail of the tape, it was TE. And I was like, I don't remember that. No. And I wanted to see if like his little nameplate would do it too. And yeah, Monte Brown. And I was like, really? I thought it was Monty though. I don't know if this is right.
Yeah.
I think they're wrong that week.
I'm guessing they're wrong this week, and it's back to my, because I never have seen it with the E before this.
All right,
get the E out.
Yeah. So yeah, heavyweight title match time. I want to reveal a slight editing secret here for me, which is that if you watch the show at 1.4 times speed, The Truth has a very badass techno/house song.
Ooh, I gotta listen to that.
So the match starts back and forth with Monte Brown clearly having the power over The Truth. The camera misses it, but The Truth does some sort of acrobatic move, like a backflip or a cartwheel, before going for his plancha onto Monty Brown on the outside.
I'm going to stop you guys here.
Okay.
I was hyped for this match.
Yep.
And spoiler alert, I was a little let down by it.
Okay.
I am 95% sure Monty Brown rocks his head on this crossbar to the outside.
Oh yeah,
and that's why
that
the
would
match
kind of
gets
make
sloppy.
sense to
me. And I went back and I watched it again. Truth, like he catches him for the crossbody, and as Monty Brown's bumping on the entranceway, Truth is rolling over him, and his head or his body rolls over Monty Brown's head just as his head hits the entranceway, and then Brown is immediately like back of his head and like slowed down, sloppier the entire match. I'm like 95% sure he rocks his head right at the start.
Because I love Monty Brown, but he was a little like turned down this match.
And
that makes sense to me now.
Like, and there are some times where he comes back and I'm like, oh, there he is, he's awake. But there's a lot of times where it's like he's sloppy, he's off.
Yeah.
Just the spots are all over the place. I'm pretty sure the dude got concussed here.
All right. Yeah, this next one was one of them where I noticed that, which is on the announce table. Monty Brown calls for the Alpha Bomb, but eventually The Truth fights out of it.
But it's just like this weird, like, he's got him, and then it's just like he wiggles free, and then like, okay, we're done with that.
Yeah, he like had him, then he picked him up, then he went for like the Iggy for it, and then he reversed it.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you guys up there for like 18 seconds?
In the ring, The Truth turns it around and hits a top rope leg drop, but only gets a 2. Don West loses himself in the commentary because after Brown hits a back elbow, West says, "And of course, in the NFL, Monty Brown has done that many times, taking the immovable force and turning it like that."
You got there. I don't know where there is, but you got there.
Yo, it turns out Don West is the one who got concussed.
Once again, the truth lets the crowd know that he's the hottest thing since grits. And I want to point out that grits is boiled cornmeal. That's just what it is. That's what you're eating, cornmeal.
Boiled.
Yeah, boiled. The truth hits an axe kick and gets a 2.5. Oh, so close. The two exchange finisher attempts, which ends with the truth rolling through Brown's alpha bomb for a jackknife roll-up. But they lose footing and accidentally hit like a power bomb pile driver type move, essentially
almost
inventing the Canadian destroyer.
Yeah. He kind of just took a bump on him.
It was rough. And that was the 3.
Botch finish again, twice or 3 times. How many botch finishes have there been?
It's rough. Post-match, once again, Jarrett is out the second the bell rings, this time with a chair. If you watch the video, you can actually see Jarrett running up the stairs to the ramp right as the ref hits 2.
Oh.
For the 2, 1, 2, Jarrett's head pops up. Running out.
Jesus.
Armstrong tries to take the chair away from Jarrett, but he takes a chair shot instead. Also, Monty Brown takes one. The Truth stops the chair shot for him, and Jarrett and the Truth punch off. Brian Lawler makes the save?
He's got to kill him.
Okay.
Brian screams, "Nobody does that to me!" and goes to hit Jarrett with a chair, but the Truth gets pulled in the way of the chair, and Jarrett escapes. As girls dance in cages, TNA damns Slash for interrupting Brian Lawler earlier tonight, right as he was about to spill the beans.
We'll never know!
Damn that Slash!
Tell us!
Damn him!
I need to know!
Match length 10 minutes and 12 seconds, full segment 14 minutes and 11 seconds. My only thoughts are, I don't really have any clue as to why any of those men were working together at the end of the match.
Yeah. Again, like most disappointing match of the night. I was so hyped for this. Again, I'm just gonna chalk it up to Monty Brown rocking his head and just being a little out of it. Because even at the end, he takes the chair shot, and then when they're all like, he gets back up after the chair shot, but then just like stands there and eventually is like, I guess I'll just like
that was
exit stage left now and just leaves. I did like the Jarrett pulling Lawler? No, pulled the Truth.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good spot.
No, that was good, yeah. But
I thought at one point Truth got hurt bad because when Monty Brown did the belly-to-belly to the outside, he smacked his forehead onto the ground. So I wasn't sure how that happened with the rotation.
I think he just rolled over the top of his
that's
head.
why I was nervous, because that could do something bad to your neck.
Definitely close.
Ugh. And it was painful to watch that sleeper hold with Monty Brown. And he was trying to get the crowd into him, and not one person made a peep. And I was like, oh, I've been waiting for him to have a title match, and I have a feeling he's not going to get near that title for a while now.
That sucks.
But can you guess how many NWA World Title matches there have been so far?
In the history of...
No, it's in NWA TNA.
I'm going to say this is the 4th.
Okay. What about you?
What, the 3rd or something?
Okay. I'll say immediately, wrong. This is the 6th.
Oh.
How many of them do you think have been the main event?
Oh.
None.
Out of the 6?
I would say
0.
1, maybe? Yeah.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 of them? Oh,
the inaugural one. And Sabu was main event with his ladder match.
Count that inaugural one.
That was a title match. That was the only 2 out of the 6. They've always been like mid-card.
Yeah.
Not to call it mid-card, but that's where it was in the card. It was in the middle of it.
Yeah. All right, segment 11, Goldilocks is with Jerry Lynn, and she points out that if Jerry wins, it puts an end to this thing with AJ Styles.
Oh, he's getting perverted again. Oh, maybe not.
Well, she said that. I guess she was implying whatever this thing is.
Wait, but does that mean that she anticipates that if Jerry Lynn wins.
Yeah.
Okay, bygones will be bygones. Feud's over.
I guess so.
But if AJ wins, Jerry Lynn, the disrespectful pervert, won't be able to let it go and will just keep fighting.
Yeah, because the feud is he has to teach him respect. So if he doesn't win, he didn't teach him respect yet. He's still running around disrespectful, yelling at waitresses about not tipping him or something. Or I don't know what that was.
I got a tip for you.
Lynn says, enough head games and locker room ribs.
What does he think a rib is?
AJ can take what Jerry gives him, but Jerry is a smart veteran. When tonight is over, AJ will respect me.
I'm tired of all these kids eating ribs in the locker room, just leaving the bones everywhere. Enough is enough. I'm going to teach them respect.
Can't even put peanut butter on them. On the ribs.
Boy, if you don't take 2 pieces of ribs, slap some peanut butter, and make that a sandwich, you get out of this locker room.
No more locker room ribs for you.
I just thought a rib was when you pooped in someone's bed.
Yeah, specifically. And exclusively.
Right, so you're going to respect me after tonight. Then AJ attacks Jerry Lynn and drags him through the curtain to the ring. Full segment was 45 seconds. Right as AJ attacks, we get another one of my favorite Goldie screams.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I don't know if you noticed this, but when the match started, her mic was still open. So if you kind of listen, you could hear someone go, "You okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, I missed that.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Oh yeah, it's just fake anyway.
Yeah. My only thoughts were the same thing that you were just talking about, which is what are these head games and locker room ribs that he's talking about? And because he's so old school, I presume it must be one of those, ha ha, you fell asleep, I put my dick in your mouth. You shouldn't have fell asleep in the locker room. Ha ha, got you, you're gay. Again, getting molested is bad, but doing the molesting is totally fine.
Rules were different back then.
Rules, yo.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
No, they weren't.
I mean, they were days.
Yeah.
And those days were the days. But
Well.
no. So segment 12. It's immediate from the last segment. AJ throws Jerry Lynn into the guardrails as the bell rings. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Here we go.
It's not a Falls Count Anywhere match. It's a no DQ match. It's all still got to happen in the ring. And Tenay, doubles down on the stupid where he's like, it's anything goes, so why not start the match now? And I'm like, that's not what no DQ means. It doesn't mean anything goes. I was thinking, you know how many no DQ matches I have seen in my life where the wrestlers fight to the door of the building and then go out of the building and then the ref comes back in and goes, I don't know where they went. And, clearly not anything goes because the ref's not going to follow them very far. There's a limit to how far things will go.
I'm sorry, the State Athletic Commission only allows me to operate with it. If they leave, then they can do whatever they want.
I followed them because I could see them from the door, and I wanted to get the pin for the shoulders, but once they're out of the view of the door, that's it. I can't. The match has got to end. So Jerry Lynn turns it around, sets up a table, but AJ turns it back around, and then Lynn flips the table out of the way to avoid it being used by AJ. Because this is when they fought over there at this point. I was like,
yeah.
I thought it was weird to me. He was so desperate to get that table out of the way. I was like, wait, is it a table match? He was really adamant about making sure that table wasn't used yet. I was like, what?
We only got one and we can't break it now.
Oh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
I hear there's budget cuts this week.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So in the ring, Lynn gets a chair, but Styles leg sweeps Lynn, causing the chair to hit Lynn's face, followed by a leg drop onto the chair.
Hokey, hokey.
And you thought he was ugly before. So AJ wedges a chair into the corner and tries to Irish whip Lynn into it, but Lynn reverses the whole thing into a catapult, face first, into the chair.
That he had to rush because the ref was convinced it was a pin.
And you thought it was ugly before. So Lynn hits his reverse the shoulder block through the ropes into a leg drop and then brings it to the top rope. But Styles reverses the tornado DDT, avoiding the table, as the crowd fights itself to chant AJ Styles and AJ sucks.
Poor Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, I know. You will respect me. Who? I don't know who you are. Get out of here, old man. Lynn drop kicks a chair. Oh, did I skip something? I totally did. All right, hang on.
You should have skipped it because it's fucking double clothesline.
Onto a chair?
Oh, yeah, the two men hit a double clothesline onto a chair, and that's a double down. But after, I thought it was cool, which is then AJ picks up the chair, and Lynn goes for a sunset flip into a pin, and AJ uses the chair to break out. Wham!
Loved it.
It was good. And then they both get up. AJ still has the chair, and Lynn drop kicks the chair into AJ's face. 2 count. Then a misplaced chair makes a DDT look not as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
But Lynn breaks his own pin anyway to inflict more damage.
So dumb.
He's supposed to be the respect guy. Why is he breaking the pin?
He's supposed to be the smart veteran.
What is the story here?
Yeah.
The crowd is seething for a table as a Frankenstein to the outside just barely hits it.
Ooh.
Like his ankles and shins.
I got real nervous for that spot to begin with because I was like, what, Jerry Lynn, where are you going to go?
Where
are you going to go?
Inside the ring, it's only a 2-pin. So Lynn brings it to the top rope, but AJ reverses it to a Styles Clash onto a chair and gets the 3.
Dick onto the chair.
Busted balls. Right on steel.
That's rough. That makes it 1-1 in the whole series, and we immediately start the 3rd round Iron Man match. This match was 11 minutes and 40 seconds, with this segment being 11 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay match, but a little long.
Yeah. The problem is, we already had a Falls Count Anywhere match and a no DQ match, but every match has involved brawling outside, so everything is all the same. It doesn't make any difference.
And all the brawling in the outside has been almost exclusively in the start of the match too.
Yeah.
Almost every match starts with brawling to the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I can't tell you how fucking crazy it drove me when Jerry Lynn broke up his own, after the DDT onto the chair. He was like, no, we're still gonna do it.
Yeah. That was one of the most insane things I've ever seen him do. Kayfabe wise. I didn't. Yeah.
And I like him.
I know. It was such a weird mistake. I guess he was just so it would have made sense if it was the 3rd fall and he was desperate to win. No, I'm not going to win this fall. I got to pick him up and do it. But second match, it wasn't.
He wanted to teach him respect. He didn't teach him yet. He was muttering something about ribs in his ears as he was hitting him. And he was like, no!
Segment 13 immediately starts next. 10-minute Iron Man match between AJ and Jerry Lynn. The match begins after Borash finishes his announcements. AJ immediately gets 2 pins before Lynn finally kicks out for the 3rd pin. So it is already 2-0 in this Iron Man match in the first 20 seconds.
I didn't think that was fair that, they didn't have to stand up at least. But I did, since they didn't have to, I liked that it kind of made sense that he could just pin him twice.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
I don't understand why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I do that in video games.
I was like, if he doesn't have to stand up, then yeah, screw it. Hitting him.
So Lynn hits a neck breaker to turn it around, but AJ slows it down with a sleeper hold.
They didn't start wrestling until, the countdown said, 4 minutes or something. It was, 6 minutes of rest holds.
Tenay says, the clock in the corner tells the tale, and I go, oh, yes, it does, because we can actually see with a timer that they worked this headlock for 2 minutes straight.
Oh
Yeah.
1/5 of this match. As a fan, I'm angry. As a wrestler, I am impressed. So Lynn reverses AJ's Hurricane Rana into a flipping sit-out facebuster. 4-3. That's 2-1 still Styles with 6 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Styles reverses a pile driver, but Lynn moves away from AJ's corner leg lariat. Lynn goes up to the top, but AJ hits a, crucifix flipping DDT facebuster. He had him for a crucifix.
Oh, yeah.
Pushed him over, and he rolled through for a DDT. Then it was a really sloppy DDT, and he landed it flat out like it was a facebuster. It was a weird move. Lynn very clearly kicks out, but the ref is 3. And everyone's oh, even AJ's they kind of
shit,
okay.
Lost on what to do next.
So it's 3-1 Styles. With 2 minutes left, Low-Key sets up a ladder the top of the ramp and sits on it. Trying to get that bird's eye view. Lynn hits a cradle pile driver and gets a pin. That's 3-2 Styles. AJ goes for a pile driver, but Lynn reverses it to a Styles clash and gets a pin. 3-3. 40 seconds left. They start rapid fire exchanging pins, but the match ends at a tie. 3-3 in the match. So that's a tie. That's 1-1 in the series. So that's a tie. It's a tie. Post-match, Low-Ki enters the ring and picks up both men to raise their hand as if to say, you're both winners. But then kicks them both as if to say, but not compared to me. On the ramp, Low-Ki uses his Mortal Kombat voice to say...
That's his regular voice.
Sure. To say the X Division isn't about Styles and Lynn, it's about the champion. Next week, triple ladder match. It's about the size of the fight, not the size of the fighter. Be ready. Match length, 10 minutes. Post-match length, 2 minutes. Full segment length, 12 minutes and 36 seconds. My only thoughts are this was, once again, yet another... I guess main event match, although they didn't announce it that way.
Yeah, it was the last one.
That ended in confusion.
Yep.
Oh, and also with the
booze.
crowd. Oh, yeah, and with the crowd being upset.
Like, what a fuck you finish.
Yep.
First of all, this is already the second 2 out of 3 falls match in one show. We get a falls count anywhere, a no DQ, and an Iron Man. All part of the same fucking series. Same 2 out of 3 falls match, and it leads nowhere. It means nothing.
One of them is supposed to get the shot, and none of them can beat each other. And Low-Ki goes, the X Division's not about either of you. It's about who holds this. So I want to fight both of you. I'm like, oh, so it still is about both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice try.
And once again, because of the way TNA storylines go, I know one of them's going to win the title next week. Because when you set it up like it's not about you guys, it's about the title, clearly one of them is going to win the title.
See, my assumption is Low-Ki retains, and then AJ and Lynn just keep doing this fucking stupid
same
feud.
match he's been having. They do their thing, and Low-Ki's the winner again.
To me, they're going to give you the ultimate Russo fuck you, where it's like, it's not about you guys, it's about this title. Okay, well, then we're going to give them the title, because it's about them, motherfucker. Start wrestling better matches than them, and then it'll be about you. Yeah, so that wasn't the end somehow. Maybe I missed it, but I doubt that I did, because the whole segment started with from backstage.
Yeah.
And then it started in the ring, so they never announced it as the main event.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it that way.
They were just like, oh, here we go, we're starting, and then it rolled right into the next one.
Yeah, so now we have segment 14, which is Don West does his super pitch for next week. Triple ladder match, which he explains is 3 people and 3 ladders. It's triple ladder and triple people. And that's going to be for the X Division title. AJ Styles, Jerry Lynn, Low-Ki. Next week, be there. That was it. That's the only thing.
It wasn't a very good pitch by him. He even had to go to TNA mid-pitch. And I was like, oh, wow, he's doing bad.
Minute 38 was the full segment. No thoughts?
No, I just gave you my thoughts.
Yep. Yeah. Segment 15. Goldie has a mic on Scott Armstrong backstage, knocking on Bob Armstrong's dressing room door, trying to stop Bob from having a match with Jeff Jarrett, saying that Jarrett is in his prime and swings a chair like a baseball bat.
Or like a guitar.
Bob insists that he has padding, saying a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. Scott says, you'll die. Segment length, 56 seconds. Your thoughts?
What padding?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because even when he comes out, what padding is he wearing?
Well, he had the padding on, not...
I think he means like that, that doughiness that old people get?
He had blubber.
Yeah, no matter how in shape you are, once you're old, you just have an extra layer of fat.
It was that old school padding.
Yeah.
He's like, you're thinking like, what's he wearing, like a catcher's thing? He's like, no, I got padding. One of those old school padding.
Thought it was a weird southern brand of adult diapers. Got my paddings on, it's okay. I'm going out there.
I won't embarrass the family by pooping myself. I got paddings on. When you gotta fight your very young rival, consider padding diapers. It contains the mess. My only thoughts were, I loved the line, he swings a chair like a baseball bat. I love because it sounded like it was a line from like a folk song.
About that old folk hero, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah. Jeffrey.
Travels the South.
Jeffrey Jarrett.
Jeffrey Jarrett.
King of the mountaintop. He doesn't give a damn if you're tall or fat. He'll end your match just like that. He swings a chair like a baseball bat. He won't get screwed again, and that's a fact. Jeffrey Jarrett, king of the mountaintop.
I hear it now.
Yeah. I'm sold.
Yeah, right? Shout out to Davy Crockett for letting me steal the song.
Letting.
Well, I asked him and he didn't say anything, so. Do you want me to stop? Say nothing, he loves it. All right, with that being through, it is now time for what is technically our main event. Which means it is now time for the best hour.
Our favorite hour?
Our favorite hour, the Troy McClure Hour. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such elderly care videos as Retirement Requirement, Why You're in a Community Home, or What Do I Do with All These Shoes? Dealing with Diabetic Limb Loss. Today, we're here to talk about complete confusion.
No.
Oh, you didn't like that?
No, you can't.
What? Did I say it backwards?
No,
what
you
part?
said it right.
Oh, good. Okay.
It's just thought it was a bit much.
All those shoes? Yeah, what are you going to do with them? All right, so here it is. Jeff Jarrett is in your main event, which means it's time for the rookie year of Jeff Jarrett. As we all know, in April of 1986, wrestler on a losing streak, Tony Falk, challenged referee Jeff Jarrett to a match, and somehow referee Jeff Jarrett parlayed that into a wrestling career. In May of 1986, Jeff Jarrett moved over to the tag division, having semi-consistent partners like Joe LeDuc, Paul Diamond, and Billy Travis, and one time being involved in a nightmare match, whatever that is. Jarrett has also consistently inserted himself as a part of the good guys break 'em up team. You know, just the faces that run in and be like, come on, you don't need to do this. Come on. This isn't even a match. In June of 1986, Jeff Jarrett continued from May, changing partners to Tojo Yamamoto and Pat Tanaka, Japanese wrestlers who were actually from Hawaii, and fighting a tag team called the Nightmares, also continuing from last week, having some sort of nightmare-based match.
All right.
At the end of his first 3 months as a wrestler, Jeff Jarrett has had over 15 matches, most of which have been televised, which is a lot.
Yeah.
Today, people don't have that in a year.
15 in 3 months? Jeez.
Yeah. In 3 months. Most people don't have that in a year, let alone 15 televised. He may have had totally like high school.
Yeah.
Oof. All right, next, Bob Armstrong, a.k.a. Bullet, a.k.a. Georgia Jawcracker, a.k.a. Georgia Jawjacker, a.k.a. Jim Durango, a.k.a. Super A. Starting his career sometime in the early 1960s, he became a fan favorite under the name Bob Armstrong. But after a weightlifting accident that required facial plastic surgery, Bob wore a mask to be known as the Bullet while recovering.
Is this a comic book now?
What? That really happened, yeah.
Yo.
He was doing bench press and the bench broke. So the weight fell on his face.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I was laughing. That's very serious.
No, I mean,
that
the
was so
scenario
funny.
is ridiculous. Like, and then I donned the mask. They didn't care about me until I put the mask on.
The way you set it up was just like a fan favorite, but after a weightlifting accident, he became the Bullet.
No,
I was like,
his whole character reads like that. Like, but once he recovered from the surgery, he lost the mask, but kept the nickname, adding it to his own, becoming Bullet Bob Armstrong.
where did I put that mask?
That's all it was. After training his sons and having a brief career in Japan and Korea, Bob went into semi-retirement in 1988. Occasionally wrestling in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, USWA, and in 1996, WCW. That was a bunkhouse brawl match with Scott Armstrong.
Oh.
On a team. I forget who they fought.
Oh, he just showed up?
They was
Like
like,
his
I'm
jeans
going to
like
back
pads.
my son up. Yeah. You're not going to disrespect the Armstrong name or the James name. I don't know which one they used. As we all know, in 2002, he was on the first TNA pay-per-view among the wrestling legends, being honored for about 40 seconds. Oh, excuse me, for about a minute and 40 seconds. All right, so segment 16, My World! Jeff Jarrett enters wearing purple shirts and purple shades.
Oh, of course you noticed.
So I am into it. He says, bring out the surprise, let's go. And it's Bullet Bob Armstrong.
It is not Bullet Bob Armstrong.
It's at least someone wearing his clothes.
Way too buff, well, not way too young, but younger than Bullet Bob.
Yeah.
Less decrepit.
Yes.
Yes, because Jarrett gets on the mic and says he's going to give him a stroke and then unmask his decrepit ass. Bullet reverses Jarrett and punches him out of the ring. The crowd doesn't really seem to care.
No.
Down the ramp comes Bullet Bob Armstrong with a chair.
What?
Wait a minute, but who's in the suit? As we go off air.
I was so upset at that. I said, really?
Segment length 2 minutes and 48 seconds. The only thought I have is that it was very clear that that was not a 65-year-old man wrestling in that ring.
And I am very upset that I could recognize who it was by his punches.
It was one of the Armstrongs, right?
It was Brad Armstrong.
That's
Yeah. I've seen him enough on NWA or whatever it was. Whatever that NWA, WCW Power Hour? I don't know. One of them.
Yeah.
I've seen him enough
When he
that
did,
I
yeah.
know his punches.
Back when he used to wrestle, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, when he came out and I was like, that's not Bullet Bob. And then I saw his body had like a lot of freckles on it. I was like probably related to him.
There's one point, too, where he's throwing him into the ring.
Yeah.
And you get a nice clear shot of his face. If you take a picture of Brad Armstrong and put it right next to it, you can tell that's Brad Armstrong.
Okay.
Do it right now.
Yeah, if I ever get around to that video. All right, so that was your show. Bell to 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 bell. Surprisingly enough, an hour and 22 minutes and 36 seconds of wrestling on this hour and 52-minute show.
I felt it. I knew it.
It was a lot of wrestling on this show. I was surprised.
There was a lot of long matches.
Yeah, 30 minutes of it was AJ and Jerry Lynn.
Yes.
Surprisingly, I was like, I felt like we're going to use the backstage segment. Like one more.
One more, sure.
After I'm always complaining about them.
Yeah. All right, you have any thoughts on the whole show?
The storylines, man. It's so fucking... What is it that they have against, like, just finishing a storyline? Like, paying something off without immediately spinning it into something else. We've had the out of nowhere Brian Lawler and Jeff Jarrett thing going on, right?
Yeah.
Tell us!
Yeah, we're about to learn it today, but now we've got to have a delay because Jarrett pulled truth in front. So now I assume before we find out what's going on between Jeff Jarrett and Brian Lawler, we've got to settle Brian Lawler and R-Truth. And before we settle Brian Lawler and Jeff Jarrett, we also have to settle Jeff Jarrett and Bullet Bob
Multiple
Armstrong.
segments going on with the same people.
That's really the problem. It's a couple guys who have the entire storylines built around them, and then it's just like, low-key and the SATs just put them in a match and let them fight, and then low-key and the Flying Elvis just put them in a match and let them fight, but we'll give Jeff Jarrett 6 storylines, and we'll give Brian Lawler 7 storylines, and we'll give...
A lot of people were in here, too.
Right.
That's why I felt like they had so many matches that went long, and we had 3 AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn matches.
I'm so old. Like, honestly, fire them both. Fire AJ and fire...
What?
Yeah, fire him. Get him off the show. I don't want to see him for a while.
AJ, he's so, like,
he is.
inventive.
He is.
He cuts off the sleeves of his shirt and then puts one of them around his head.
It's fantastic. Fire at least one of them, because I don't want to see them wrestle each other. I'm fucking over this feud. It's been going on since, week 4 or week 5?
Yeah.
And we've already had blow-offs where they fight each other.
But now it's for a title. Even though there was 3 titles involved at one point with them.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you just said. All of it. Like, it was a show where they finally gave me the wrestling I was asking for, but a lot of the wrestling just didn't click because it was missing so much of the story element that like the Brown Truth match, although we said it may have been a concussion thing there, that was a problem. But yeah, specifically that second Lynn and Styles match, that was a real drag to me. For wrestlers that I know can give me stuff that will just wow me, I was really kind of like, all right, guys, let's get through this. Let's get through this. And then right after I watched the second match, and I liked that match, I was like, man, that match must have been a hurtful match for me to not like that match, and then see the same guys wrestle immediately after and like the second match.
Yeah.
I was like, what was up with that other match?
Why did we waste all that time?
Yeah.
What if you're gonna book two great wrestlers, AJ Styles and Jerry Lynn?
Yeah.
What? First of all, 2 out of 3 falls match, 2-on-1 card. That's bad enough. What fucking 2 out of 3 falls match? First a falls count anywhere, then a no DQ, and then an Iron Man match. So we had a total of 8 pins between these two men tonight.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But that sort of kind of brings us to the why would you make this? Because they just lost all their money. They have to put on the best possible show they can using as little money as possible.
This ain't how to do it.
But that's what you have to do. You have to use Jarrett and AJ and Lynn 5-6 times. Have them come out there 3 matches. Jarrett, have them come out there, do 3-4 segments, because wrestling, you're on the card, you're getting that 50 no matter how many times we use you.
Yeah.
For you, it's like, oh, I get that much exposure this week? That's in a business where exposure literally is your job, that it actually is kind of good. But also, give me the fucking money, I'm dying out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had to save money, so they did that old school, like, listen, you're on the show.
You're double booked.
Here's your triple book. You're triple booked. That's what we've decided to do with you tonight when we hired you, and you agreed. And then, again, they're trying to save more money, so they're not renting the building out next week. It's tonight.
Yeah.
It's the same rental. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't know. I mean, I would definitely be like, you're paying me twice, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But they're getting all the... I presume we're going to see all the same guys next week.
Yikes, what a night for
That's
them.
what I presume. We might see... I'm going to guess we'll see one new tag team.
Yeah.
One new tag team, and everyone else is just going to be mixed around.
Yikes.
Except for the feuds that we know are solid. Because they need to save money, so they can't hire a lot of guys.
Yo. Motherfucker, this ain't cable. This is a pay-per-view I just paid money for, and you're giving me...
It's only $10.
Yeah. This is $10 in 2002 money, man.
Inflation.
Yeah.
That's $45 now.
I don't think so.
Although
it's probably close.
$10.45.
All right. So let's guess the next card. Not that it's really possible, because they told us the triple ladder match is definitely going to happen.
Triple ladder match. Truth versus Lawler, maybe?
Okay.
But no, because you don't... It's... Yeah, okay, I'm going to say it's Truth versus Lawler, and he's going to be like, I want to settle this, and just to get it done, you'll get a title shot, I guess. Just because... I'm not saying... Nothing makes sense. It's just the best I got with this dog shit.
Oh, I know. I mean, like, based on the show I watched, you could do Jarrett versus Brian Lawler, and then Jarrett versus Monty Brown, and then Jarrett versus The Truth, and then Jarrett versus the Armstrong family. Like, anybody else you want to throw in there is fine. Sadly enough, because Sonny Siaki cheated to win, you can give us yet another Sonny Siaki Jimmy Yang stipulation match.
Oh, they're going to do Yang.
What about Jorge, though?
Yeah, they're going to do Siaki versus Estrada.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
Because he's got to prove that he's the best Elvis, even though he doesn't want to be an Elvis.
No, he clearly hates it.
You think we're seeing Brian Lee or Harris?
I mean, I don't want to, but
I don't
know if their favor is up yet.
What about James Mitchell and Malice?
Yo, I'm like, what happened to them? Are they going to come back?
Is done, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought he had like jaundice and like that. Like last show was his last show ever.
He was sick. I didn't. That wasn't his last show ever.
He looked sick.
He just looked sick. He had jaundice. Like,
he shook the hand, and then apparently James Mitchell didn't like that, and then they brought up during the show that we haven't seen them since. They're not here today, so we don't know what this means.
We haven't seen anyone since. Like, what do you mean?
You don't want to pay anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll probably get another one of those, like, You think it should be like AMW versus the SATs in a tag match,
Oh.
but you'll get another dumbass heel versus heel tag match. 'Cause nobody knows how to fucking book this show, apparently.
David Young will come back for a match.
Yo. Okay, sure. I mean, if you're going to disappoint me, why not? Like, just go all out.
All right, so if it's the same night and we're using all the same guys, we'll do Slash versus Red. We'll do the SATs versus AMW.
Yeah, they're not going to... Neither of them will be booked somehow.
Yeah.
They'll pay for more guys instead of booking those guys again. Yeah.
And right, Low-Key's head of booking, right?
He is head of talent relations. I don't know if he's head of booking, but he's the guy who's bringing everybody into the show.
Okay. Who's booking this shit?
Russo. Or at least he's the story writer. I don't know if he's the booker. Like I think Russo's writing stories with like the Jarretts and someone from NWA.
Honestly, from what I've seen, the booking is. Who do we have here tonight? All right.
Oh, you mean every indie show ever?
Yeah.
Showing a show based.
Yeah. Really, like, so far, the Asylum years are really, if you want to know, like, the worst of, like, bad indie wrestling, like, tune in to this. Because this is, like, a lot of this is just the worst of just early 2000s indie wrestling, where it's like, what the fuck is even going, like, why are we doing this? None of this makes sense. You're just doing shit to do shit.
If you're looking to steal spots, watch this era of TNA because it's shit. No one's gonna remember it. No one wants to watch it. And there's a few things that were pretty cool and unique that are in a few matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So despite them giving us exactly what we wanted, which was a pay-per-view filled with wrestling, it was awful.
Yeah.
It was not as good as it should have been.
Who is this company building towards? Like, who are they building around? Who is their face?
Don't even pretend like we can answer that question because they keep changing every week. And they keep pretending people are faces and then they're not faces. And
the only face is Low-Key.
But he raised their hands and then kicked both of them down.
Yeah, the crowd loved it.
Yeah, but the crowd also loved Jeff Jarrett. So, like, is he the face?
I don't know what's going on.
Also, they really, really like booing Brian Lawler. So does that make him a face? They don't hate him. They like booing him. They like going, Jerry's kid, giving him the finger and telling him he should pour his own cereal for dinner and all that stuff, you know.
All the normal stuff you yell at someone who is neglected by their parents.
Yeah.
Let's go play catch, you loser.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know how.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure someone will pick you up after school. Oh, no? Oh.
All right. So that was the show. Join us for the next one. Give us whatever form of validation that you feel is the easiest for you to give us. Like, teach our name to a parrot.
Ooh.
You know? But that's it. Don't, like, show the parrot to anybody. Just keep it in your room, and that's fine, yeah. Let it die at a surprisingly young age because you neglected it, just like that kid.
Oh.
You just threw the blanket over the cage one day and forgot about it.
Oh, my God. To live in a world where you never need a blanket.
What? Hey, Grandma, what's behind that smelly blanket?
You know, when, like, I don't know, you throw a blanket on something and you're like, oh, I guess that's a table. I put stuff on now. And then, like, you never think, like, well, I guess that blanket became a tablecloth. You never think, let me smell under the tablecloth.
And then your hearing aid dies.
All right, so the intro music was Falling After Love by Kill Paris. For Brother Skylar and J Delta, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we'd be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts. The preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.